not in the other line.
Wes is his own deckhand. Oh man, that's a nice fish. He's right there. Oh, that's right. Wes only had like a 15-foot setback on that to keep it from getting in the other line, and it worked. Nice little rainbow. We've been getting a lot of those lately on the old pinhead. Yes, sir. Naked. Oh, he had a turbo on there. He had a little chartreuse turbo on there. Good deal. We hit some of our other spots this morning, and it wasn't phenomenal. Now we're kind of back over here where we were fishing a couple weeks ago, and doing pretty good. We've caught a couple fish here in probably the last 15 minutes or so. There he goes. Yay, and off he went. Nice. Howdy guys, Kel Kellogg here. It is time for a Northern California fishing report. I know this light's probably kind of funky, but the sun's high in the sky, so I'm gonna stay under the shade here, and hopefully you can see me all right. Even if you can't, this is the fishing report. Couple quick notes about the channel. I've kind of reconfigured how I'm doing the videos. We are gonna have fishing and fishing instructional videos now posted on Tuesdays and Sundays, and we are going to have a fishing report video every Thursday. So that's our new format going forward. So if you're interested in fishing reports, be sure to tune in on Thursdays. And if you want to see fishing trips and get trout fishing tips, Tuesday and Sunday are the days for you. And of course, it's on YouTube. You can watch it 24/7, 365. So let's get into the fishing reports. It is August. It is August 9th. And you know what I always say about August in terms of trout and landlocked salmon fishing, it's kind of the doldrums, especially for trout. The reason being, even up in the high Sierras, those fish have kind of settled into a lifestyle. They got all the food they want. They feed when they're gonna feed. The bite comes off, bite goes off, the bite comes on. And sometimes even in the high Sierras at lakes that I do really well on, a good morning of fishing is 3 fish, because the fish are full and the fish are just kind of living that lifestyle. They're very comfortable. They got everything they need. It's like trying to sell a hamburger to a guy the day after Thanksgiving. You know, I don't want that hamburger then, and the fish kind of feel the same way. Now, when we get a change in the conditions as we kind of segue into fall, cooler temperatures, shorter days, shorter periods of daylight, that's very important, and it's going to really kind of spark up the energy level of the fish. They're going to instinctively know that winter is coming, and when that happens, they tend to put on the feed bag. And our conditions right now in terms of water levels, I'm out here at Folsom, this lake is dang near full. It's only down maybe 8 feet or so. We've got a ton of water going into fall, so I think it's going to be a very exciting fall here in Northern California. Let me rattle off a few locations where things are going very well and where things are going fair. Let's start off with Folsom. We're out here, it's August. Wes and I were out scouting. We've had several fish today. You saw that fish we caught here just a few minutes ago in the beginning of this video. We're having to work for our bites. This week we've had trout up to 22.5 inches. We had a salmon this morning, nothing big, we let him go. But bottom line is, if you get out here and you work the depth range, say from 45 to 70 feet deep, find a bait, you're gonna find a fish, work on them. Mornings have been better for us. Early in the morning has been better for us, but today we've been catching fish kind of steadily from early in the morning right on through. It's approaching midday right now. We are pulling small spoons, shiny stuff. It's just working. If you live near Folsom, it's definitely worth the trip out here. Right around us now, there's not a lot of boat traffic. It is a Wednesday. Not a lot's going on out here. It's fairly quiet, so it's a good trip if you live close. Come on out here, pull some gear, and you're gonna catch some rainbow trout. You might get lucky, you might get a salmon. I had a brown trout the other day of all things. Let's move on. Let's talk about some kokanee fishing destinations. And this is all, based on my internet research, but this is what I've been seeing. I've also talked to some guys too, but this is what I've been seeing. Down at New Maloney's Reservoir, they continue to get some really large kokanee. They're not getting limits of kokanee, but they are getting some really nice kokanee. So if you're a kokanee junkie, that's one of the destinations where you can go and get some really big fish. The other place for big kokanee is way up at the other end of the other end of the state, basically. Try to say that a few times. Is up at Whiskeytown Reservoir. They've got some big kokanee up there as well. It is sizzling hot there. It's sizzling hot down at New Maloney's. It's a little cooler today, but bottom line is, It's sizzling hot. It's August. But if you're into big kokanee, those are two destinations you might want to check out. If you're into big numbers of kokanee, Bullard's Bar continues to satisfy kokanee guys looking to get a 10 kokanee limit. They're down anywhere from 60 to 80 feet right now. Find them on your graph and drop down to standard offerings, the usual suspects: pink spinners, orange spinners, your kokanee size hoochies and tubes, and you're gonna have no problem taking home a limit. You're gonna have a lot of action, a lot of laughs, but your top fish is probably only gonna be 12, maybe 13 inches long. Not horrible, but not huge, but you're gonna have a lot of them. You're gonna fill up that smoker, you're gonna have a smile on your face, and that's the kind of fishing where if you lose one, you don't care, because in 5 minutes, you're gonna hook another one. So, you know, it's gonna be pretty steady action most of the time out there at Bullard's. Trout fishing, some highlights in terms of trout fishing. Collins Lake, believe it or not, this time of the year, despite the heat, our buddy Joey was out there, I guess a week ago or so. He spent a week up there. He reported very good trout fishing, pulling lures off his downriggers. He said he saw a lot of bait, he caught a lot of bass, and he caught a lot of trout. That's great news, and that is all due to these high water levels. There's a lot of water still in Collins Lake. That means there's a lot of cool water down deep. There's a lot of bait. There's a lot of trout active out there right now, and it's going to be even better this fall because all those fish are going to move up out of deep water. They're going to be annihilating those shad, and you know, there's going to be a lot of holdovers caught this fall at places like Collins Lake. Another great spot right now that continues to offer really good fishing is Comanche Reservoir. Big Nate's Guide Service, he was down there the other day, and he got limits of trout, including one that I forget what he said it weighed. It was big. It was 7, 8, 9 pounds, a big old square tail rainbow that had been in the lake for quite a while. So every time he goes out there, it's been hot and this and that, and he's been going to some other destinations, but it seems like every time he gets out on Comanche, he rounds up limits of rainbows. So definitely exciting, you know, downrigger style fishing if you're into that. If you're near Comanche and you want to get some trout, by all means, get out there. Again, find them on your graph, drop those lures down. It's a spoon bite. Drop those lures down above the level of the biomass of the fish, and you are going to be yelling fish on. That kind of wraps it up for freshwater at the moment. You know, there's a lot of trout lakes in the state. That whole little disclaimer about August fishing kind of holds true at most of them. August is a challenging month, but if you want to get your trout on, get out there, find them. Preferably fish early in the morning before it gets really hot, and you are going to get the trout that you're looking for. But the really good trout action is right around the corner when we start getting into the fall months. Shorter days, cooler temperatures, and you know, you've seen me out there at places like Davis and, you know, so on and so forth. Some really wild trout action is about to bust loose in, you know, several weeks. So anyway, gear up for that, get ready. The best bite in the state, the most exciting bite in the state, probably the most satisfying bite in the state, is jumping on a charter boat out of Berkeley, California. For those of us in Northern California here, or, you know, out in the foothills, jump on Highway 80, jump off at University Avenue, get on the boat, get outside the Golden Gate, and you are going to get limits of rockfish. You're going to get limits of lingcod fish in relatively shallow water, and you're going to come back into the bay and you're going to do some live bait drifting, and you got a really good chance of getting a bonus halibut, because halibut fishing is still outstanding. It was great this spring. It's probably just as good or nearly as good right now, but with those rockfish out there, the focus is kind of shifted on them, and not as many people are targeting the halibut as, you know, as intensely as they had been before the shallow water rockfish season owned. So California Dawn, Pacific Dream, the Old Happy Hooker, all those boats, they will put you on the fish. You will not be disappointed. You'll have a lot of fun, and you'll fill the freezer with big, thick white fillets. I'm going myself very shortly. I got to get my lingcod on. I got to put away some whitefish for the coming winter. So that's about the size of it. We got a lot to look forward to, guys. That rock cod fishing, lingcod fishing, it's only going to get better as we move into fall. Stripers are going to start popping in the Delta. In fact, I'm sure there's stripers in the Delta right now. Guys in the know that go out there and troll in August have very good results at times. And the trout fishing this fall is going to be great. And I'm going to hit all the usual destinations. I'm going to hit Eagle. I'm going to hit Davis. probably gonna hit Jackson Meadows, and I am taking a trout fishing destination trip, probably for a week, into the Eastern Sierra. I'm gonna go down there and show those SoCal trout some Norcal tactics, and I expect to have epic action. I'm Cal Kellogg. I'm out of here for now. If you are looking for gear, trout gear, rods, reels, more, or you want to book a guided trip with me out here at Folsom Lake, I'm going to be out here all fall. Get on up to FHSfishing.com, and we appreciate all your support. I'm Cal Kellogg.